Ahoy hoy! I'm E.J. Hinterman with the Utah Firefighters Emerald Society and Push to Survive. This is Punk to Survive. We're filming live tonight in beautiful, historic downtown Ogden, Utah. We're at the Funk and Dive Bar. The very spot I'm standing was once an underground speakeasy during Prohibition. This is a perfect venue for such a great event. We have great local acts tonight performing live. Version 2, we have historic punk rock band Dre's Method. These guys have been rocking the Utah scene since 1985. Headlining tonight at the show, San Diego's own Some Kind of Nightmare. Out of hospital cardiac arrest. That's what we're talking about tonight. This happens over 400,000 times a year in the United States. That makes you pretty likely to be a witness to this. Here's the best part. You can actually affect the outcome of somebody. If you know what to do, you recognize the signs, and you act quickly, you can give that person a 1 in 2 chance of survival. That's pretty remarkable when you consider the alternate. The alternate of calling 911 and waiting for professional rescuers to arrive. This is way too long, and that person loses chances of survival during this. Somebody who waits for 911 responders to arrive only has an 8% chance of survival. So, sit back, grab a couch cushion or a pillow or a CPR mannequin if you happen to have one, follow along with our video and learn how you can make the difference in somebody surviving. 3 easy steps to survival, Punk to Survive. Let's get started. Saving a life when somebody collapses is 3 easy steps. We call them the 3 C's. Check, call, and compress. If you hear somebody collapse or watch them fall down nearby, you need to first check them to see if they're awake or not. Simply yelling, "Hey," or tapping them. If there's no response, they're unconscious. Next, we need to see if they're breathing normally. Look at me. Look at the others around you. We're all breathing normally, relatively quietly. We're not snoring, snorting, gasping. This is normal breathing. It's possible that if somebody has their heart stop suddenly, that their body will still try to breathe for up to 10 minutes. We'll assume if somebody's unconscious and not breathing normally, that they're a victim of cardiac arrest. The next step, or C in our program, is to call. Either you or a bystander needs to call 911 or whatever emergency services phone number is available in your area. No matter where you live, you call 911, some time will elapse, and responders will arrive. In the meantime, we need to be doing the work. For every minute that a non-beating heart goes without circulation or compressions being done, their chance of survival drops by 10%. That being said, the next step, or next C in our program, is most important: chest compressions. You need to get your hands on the patient's chest and start compressions, and don't stop until either you're relieved by someone else or professional help arrives. Okay, let's get started. Position yourself in front of your mannequin as I have. If you don't have a mannequin, use a pillow or a couch cushion or a loved one. Just get their permission first. You'll notice my mannequin still has its clothing on. That's absolutely fine. We don't need to remove clothing to do CPR on somebody. You'll also notice as we go, we're not going to do anything with their airway. No breaths, no positioning. As long as we're doing good chest compressions, they get all of the oxygen they need until help arrives. So let's get going. Compressions are the most important part, and they have 3 important steps to remember: depth, recoil, and rate. How deep? Well, about 1/3 the depth of the chest. Ben Franklin taught us that. He actually said that. You can Google it. 1/3 the depth on this guy looks about like this. Don't get too hung up on depth. Let's just go as deep as we can. Practice along with me. Let's do a few compressions, just worrying about depth. Next is recoil. Practicing good recoil allows the chest to recoil all the way, allowing the heart to refill with blood. This is so important for the circulation of your heart. You may have taken classes in the past where they said, "Don't be a rocker." Who are you kidding here, eh? Rock on. When I do compressions, I'm going to rock up onto my fingertips, allowing the chest to recoil and the heart to refill with blood. Let's practice a few compressions together now, concentrating on depth and recoil. Next is rate. We need to compress the heart between 100 and 120 beats per minute. 110 is perfect. Nobody likes numbers though. Numbers include math. Math is dumb. We all love music. So let's do this to some great music.
Hey, nice work. Thanks for practicing with me. Let's see how this would play out in real life now. Let's peek in on our good friends Dre's Method and see how they're doing. Looks like they've got a pretty good crowd tonight. Great music. They've got a couple pipers from the Utah Firefighters Emerald Society playing with them. Things couldn't be better. Things couldn't go better. Except poor Skip Starr. He's the singer in guest tonight, and here he is about to give us some sweet, sweet vocals. Uh-oh. That is not good for Skip. Lucky, however, one of the audience members has watched Push to Survive and knows the 3 C's. Notice this feller inserts himself right away and goes right into checking this guy out. He notices he's not conscious because he doesn't answer and he's not breathing normally. As our second rescuer does her job and calls for help, our rescuer starts chest compressions right away. He even elicits the help of the band. They start helping him out and getting these chest compressions done at 110 awesome beats per minute. Those of you watching Hero Man Aaron here may be saying, he's not exactly going to the music. He's not exactly 110 beats per minute. The bottom line is, he's working, he's doing something, and something is better than nothing. You don't have to do perfect chest compressions to save a life. In 8 to 10 minutes, EMS will arrive at your scene. They may walk in, or they may be crowd surfed in like this fella. It's pretty cool when that happens. It's important, no matter how they get there, that you continue to do chest compressions until they get themselves situated, or in this case, put back onto their feet, get their gear ready, and then they ask you to stop. You are still the pivotal rescuer. They should give you a high five and tell you did a great job. You can buy yourself a drink later.
I personally want to thank you for taking 10 minutes out of your life to positively affect somebody in one of these dire circumstances. By knowing the right thing to do, recognizing the signs, and just being brave enough to act, you can save a life. By doing hands-only CPR, doing Push to Survive, these victims can now stand a 1 in 2 chance. Thank you for your contribution and thanks for supporting Push to Survive, Punk to Survive.